In every place of the world, there is entertainment. Through the power of technology, the impossible can be possible. Today, we are going to explore the story behind this useful entertainment that we mostly crave for. Here's a brief history about video games. The first video game was invented by Thomas Goldsmith and Asa Rayman on a cathode ray tube in 1947. It was patented on December 14, 1948. It's a missile game inspired by radar display that was used during World War II, known as cathode ray tube device amusement. It's a pioneer of electronic games that we use today. Sadly, the game is never released because of the equipment cost and various circumstances. But on the other hand, it became an inspiration to the other programmers to create theoretical games like chess, which was created by Alan Turing in 1947 and Nimrod de Ferranti in 1951. That became an evolution to the first computer games used an electronic graphical display known as tic-tac-toe, created by Alexander Douglas. In 1958, Tennis for Two was the first arcade game by William Higginbotham, which later played on first nonPongStyle console known as the Brown Box, invented by Ralph Baer, who was the father of video games in 1967. In 1972, Magnavox Odyssey was the first official game console from the idea of Ralph's Brown Box, which later on improved by Nolan Bushnell or known as Atari. These two game consoles became popular until 1977. Later on, the second-generation game console was hit during 1977 to 1985. It was known as ColecoVision, the first colored game console, which its first best-selling game was made by Nintendo, named as Donkey Kong. Because of the advanced technology, the golden age of video games was emerged in 1981 to 1985, which they started to create non-Pong games like fighting, platform, adventure, and RPG that later became popular until today. Also, this era was the first release on all-time classic game like Pac-Man in 1980, Mario Brothers in 1983, Legend of Zelda in 1986, Final Fantasy in 1987, and Golden Axe in 1988. Until 1994, Nintendo and Sega was successfully hit in the game industry. It's also where Sony PlayStation was released. Then, in 2000, Sony released its second version of PlayStation. In 2001, Microsoft releases its first video game console named Xbox, which features the online gaming service. Today, there's only three major competitors that are popular, such as Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. In succeeding years, they improvised their video game consoles into portable gadgets such as Game Boy by Nintendo. Its first release was in 1989 and discontinued in 2003. It was considered as first handheld console which has the first game Tetris. It follows by PSP Portable that was released in 2004, which it is only used by optical disc format. Its first game was Monster Hunter 3rd. And now, this advancement of technology results into 3D graphics that's usually used in modern video game consoles like Xbox 360, Wii U, PSP Vita, PlayStation 4, and more.
The media has apparently been one of the powerful shapers of today's society. Many of the present activities are associated with the media, from play, leisure and recreations, to socializations and education. Moreover, the media is one of the greatest influences that shape the perceptions, views, beliefs and attitudes of individuals. The Internet is one of the emerging medium, and is becoming an indispensable part of people's lifestyle. According to the National Statistical Coordination Board report, Internet penetration rate in the Philippines rose to 36% last year 2012 from only 2% in 2000. In addition, Philippines have the fastest growing internet audience in Southeast Asia. The number of online users jumped 22% from March 2012 to March 2013. Overall, the average age of today's gamer is 30. Average number of years the gamers have been playing is 13 years old. 68% of the gamers are 18 or older, and 45% are female. Types of gamers. There are different kinds of gamers based on what games they play. 1. Casual gamers. A casual gamer is a player whose time or interest in playing games is limited, like motion-based exercise game. 2. Core gamers. A core gamer is a player with a wider range of interests than a casual gamer, and is more likely to enthusiastically play different types of games, but without the amount of time spent and sense of competition of a hardcore gamer. 3. Hardcore gamers. A hardcore gamer may represent the stereotypical game geek. They are frequent purchasers of games and they prefer to expend significant amounts of time on games. They are more likely to try to master their games by completing as many objectives as possible. 4. Pro gamers. A pro gamer play video games and deeply study the game to master it and usually to play in competitions like esports. 5. Retro gamers. Retro gamers are mostly called arcade gamers. They are gamers who prefer playing and collecting retro games like Tetris and Mario.
My favorite game is Final Fantasy, and the people I like to post are Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 7. Wala kang outside.
Ako sa gamer, ako yung tipo casual na may time lang. Casual gamer ako at ang favorite game ko ay Civ.
Hardcore gamer ako. Core gamer ako, and favorite game ko is League of Legends.
Core gamer ako, so mahilig ako sa Pokemon. I am a core gamer. Ako sa mga core gamer.
Conclusion. Technology has always its pros and cons. We cannot say that video gaming is totally a bad thing. They even made movies inspired from games like Wreck-It Ralph, Rambo, Mission Impossible and many other. So, why do we need to be afraid in playing video games? It provides entertainment, excitement and makes the faculties of the brain do their work thinking, analyzing, and strategizing. It only becomes bad when the people involved consume too much time playing them. Remember, moderation is still the key.